Hello, my name is Michelle Briggs. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm also founder of Woodhouse May Limited, a business strategy planning and coaching consultancy. I wanted to reflect on the last 6 months, as actually today is the 17th of October, and so it's exactly 6 months since I launched Counselling West Bridgford, which is my psychotherapy business. It's actually a story of how having a really strong pre-planning stage actually allowed me really to pivot, I think is the phrase, and change and adapt as the circumstances and environment actually changed. It's actually a year since I started the formal planning of this business and using the entrepreneur's business model, which I've actually done a separate YouTube video which you can find on my channel. A year ago, and this video I'm going to really explain into a number of I think stages that I would say in this. So there was the pre-preparation, the preparation, I've called it pivot, launch, moving in, opening, where I am now, and what's in store for the future. So actually before a year ago, this idea of doing something different with psychotherapy was on my mind, something where we can really take the benefits of nature, do something for the profession that honours the psychotherapists as well as the clients, and also bring some commercial thinking, some business thinking into it, which doesn't actually put at risk the ethical way that we work. And that had been on my mind through all the time that I was studying. But as I said, a year ago, so 6 months before the launch, I actually got together a team to actually put together this the business plan, the value proposition, and I didn't do it on my own. I involved experts in their field, for example Jade Brindley from Consulting, Mike Tuck from Richardson Hall, and Caroline Peverett from Türner Co, actually to actually make sure that we had a solid plan in this preparation phase. And actually we spent 4 months and using various tools to pull together this plan so we really understood the market, the customer, what it was I actually want out of it and what it is I want out of it, and really making sure we just had a solid plan, knowing the gaps and filling them with expertise from other areas. And so 4 months done, and then moved into 2 months. I suppose there's almost a subsection which is hiatus, because we moved into the phase of starting to deliver, but what we really needed and still do need is a piece of land to actually build on. And because of the specific criteria along with budgets, that was proving really difficult and really struggling to get any kind of bite in the conversations that I was having. And then what also came, so that was sort of kind of happened in March, was of course COVID, and then suddenly things changed anyway. And I'd had this 2-month period wondering what was next. I'd got my job at Nottingham Trent University on their counselling team, so things were okay. I was practising, and also various interesting conversations with the Woodhouse May consulting. But COVID comes in, the consulting work goes, and the writing was on the wall, NTU. And where I found myself is moving into this pivot stage really at the beginning of April, but because I had this solid business plan, was able to take that out, adjust it, and almost put in a new phase of that project, so that was actually building a base of clients, actually having a practice that then could move into something that was bigger. And I had a small budget. I was trying to find it this morning. I couldn't find it. I think I started 500 in the end once I realised I needed to invest in some marketing PR. I ended up being about £800, which meant doing the website myself, and I had the skills to do that. It's about organising the online booking system, something that was good enough that wouldn't cost me anything actually in the end. A payment mechanism where I could get people to pay online and pay in advance, and doing all that research, getting the insurances and all the basic business stuff in place. But it was about getting something that was good enough on a limited budget, that was good enough to go out to clients with. So by April the 17th, 6 months today that I'm recording this, we went into launch phase. Had first client within 1 a week, quickly up to 4 or 5 clients a week. But then my NTU contract was moved on to 0 hours, and I realised that the rate of client inquiries I was getting, one new client a week, and given how often the average that clients stay for, that wasn't going to do it, needed more. So it was time to get the pros in. So that's where V Formation come in, and they've been super involved on this project. There's also the opportunity to start moving to in-person as the COVID rules were starting to relax, but also how I said this already, I needed to go to work actually for my own mental health, the opportunity to get out of the home and actually go every day to a place of work. So I started looking for a property, and that was at the kind of mid to end of July, in the middle of July, and by the 1st of August I'd moved in and so we're into the moving in phase of interior design, because of, again, taking from the plan, I knew that I wanted a space that was beautiful, that people would feel comfortable in, that was different to the kind of fairly bog standard counselling rooms that you see at the moment. So interior design, making us COVID secure. It's not difficult, but it's just a process that takes a while to go through line by line and make sure that we're COVID secure, which we managed to do. And also actually getting the website from being good enough, and this is some of the great input from V Formation, is one of many things that they creatively helped out with, moving it from it being okay to being excellent. And a lesson that I really learned from that was designing on the go. And any of you that have done any website work, you'll know that that's really tricky because of actually the speed of the website. So it was also the most stressful period of this time, because I suddenly was investing in rent, and I didn't, whilst the business side of me knew it was the right thing to do, the me thought, what if this goal goes horribly wrong and I'm just committed for 6 months and all this money for nothing? So it came to opening, which is the 1st of September, and being able to see people in person, still doing telephone and video, which we still do, but with the marketing done properly, then moving into starting to get those inquiries and building it to where we are now, which is, I think, and because it's not the same every day, but I'm between 15 and 20 clients and have between 15 and 20 appointments a week, which is really what we need to have a sustainable business. And really where in the future that needs to build, and hopefully get to the point where the inquiries and clients are at the level where I can start involving other psychotherapists, whether that's employees, but perhaps on a self-employed basis, where it can provide that service using the business knowledge and commerciality to actually help therapists who have no business skills, which is a topic for another day, where most therapists go into private practice but don't actually get the training. And then really see us build that, and then one day, once we're perhaps out of COVID, moving into what's currently called Project Huts business, finding a piece of land, getting some beautiful warm wooden huts in a nature and maybe a woodland environment. If you know anyone that has any land, or indeed if you have any yourself, please get in touch. We don't have an enormous budget, but actually we are doing it on a commercial basis, and it's something that I think, what we've done on Counselling West Bridgford so far is really proving the business model that I'm working to. I really feel that, and actually it's that testing ground for what can then be something really big and something really powerful. It needs to be within 15 or 20 minutes commuting distance of West Bridgford, but as I said, I'm really confident we'll get there. I feel that land, and it's there, and it's something we can do. So that's my update, a bit of a race through. If you'd like to know any more, and you're interested in any support in actually building a business case, a business plan of your own, it doesn't have to be psychotherapy, please do get in touch. You can get my contact details from the website. And I look forward to maybe in another 6 months giving you the update of where we are and how we're going with this. You take care.